keeping up with the motto, let learning be a joy and teaching a pleasure. Here we are with the remote teaching and learning process to bridge the gap. Happy learning, students! We observe through this picture that action is being done and it is being done by a doer. We know that an action is done by the subject, but not every time. Not every time Tom does the action. There are times Tom is acted upon. And dear students, today in this English grammar session, we will learn more about action, when the subject does the action and when the subject is acted upon or action is done to the subject. Voice is the term used to describe whether a verb is active or passive. Through voice, we come to know whether the verb is active or passive. In other words, when the subject of the verb is doing the action, the verb is said to be in the active voice. When the subject does the action, so the verb will be in the active voice. But when the subject of the verb is being acted upon or the action is done to the subject, the verb is said to be in the passive voice. So, the voice of a verb tells us whether the subject is acting or being acted upon. Only a verb that acts on something else, that is called as a transitive verb, can be written in the passive voice. If a verb is intransitive, that is, when it does not act on something else, the verb, it will always be in the active voice and cannot be converted to passive. Before we start with the topic, let us learn about transitive and intransitive verbs. A transitive verb is one that is used with an object, and the object can be a noun, a phrase, or pronoun that refers to the person or thing that is affected by the action of the verb. Example, I admire your courage. So there is a subject I, there is a verb admire, and the object is your courage. She loves animals. She, subject, loves, verb, animals, object. The direct object typically answers the question what or whom. Now, what is this direct object? We know subject, verb, and object. Let's check. Some transitive verbs can be used with a direct object and an indirect object as well. Example, Liz brought her a glass of water. Now, when we see the sentence, there is a subject, Liz brought, the verb, and then comes her and a glass of water. Now, what will be the object? Actually, both her and a glass of water are object. There is a direct object and indirect object. The direct object is one which directly receives the action or directly gets affected through the action done by the subject. So that will be a glass of water, direct object, and indirect object will be her. Anyways, we know that we need to ask question what or whom in order to be sure that the word or the words followed by the verb are object or is an object. Another example, he sent her a letter. He, subject, sent, verb. Her is indirect object, a letter which is directly affected by the, we can say, action done by the subject is a direct object, a letter. Ask the question. He sent, what did he send? And we get the answer, a letter. And that is why. Indirect object, if we want to be sure, we can ask the question for whom, and that is how we get the indirect object. But then what we have to learn here, we have to pay attention to that there can be two objects, direct and indirect, in a sentence, and that time we don't need to be confused in finding out whether the given verb is transitive or intransitive. A direct object is, as its name suggests, directly affected by the action done by the main verb. And an indirect object is usually a person or thing that benefits in some way from the action of the main verb. Now, intransitive. An intransitive verb does not have an object. The baby was crying. The baby subject and we see was crying is verb and there is no any object. So we can say that crying is an intransitive verb. They laughed uncontrollably. Now they is the subject, laughed is the verb, uncontrollably is what? It is not an object. Okay, let's check whether it is an object. We have to ask question what or whom. They laughed what? Uncontrollably? Okay, not proper. They laughed whom? Again, the answer we get is not proper, or we can say the word does not match to the answer of the asked question. So it is not an object. And yes, we know it is an adverb. We talked for hours. We subject, talked is the verb, and for is a preposition followed by another word. Again, it is not an object. An intransitive verb can be an adverb or a prepositional phrase. So there is no object followed by a verb when it is intransitive. It rained, or there can also be such case when there is only a subject and a verb. It rained heavily, so adverb. It rained heavily across the state. Again, there is an adverb and a prepositional phrase, but there is no object. Few verbs occur most often in the intransitive form are appear, arrive, breathe, continue, cry, die, happen, occur, seem, and smile. So we have learnt transitive and intransitive verbs as well. Why? Because the topic we are going to learn more about today has to do with transitive verb. Active and passive voice. Active voice. The active voice describes a sentence where the subject performs the action stated by the verb. It follows a clear subject plus verb plus object construction. The active voice puts emphasis on the most important part of the sentence. So, it is the clearest and the most direct way to share information. So that is why we most of the time write a sentence in the active voice, that is subject, verb and object. Example, Sue changed the flat tire. Sue is the subject, changed the verb, and the flat tire is object. And again, if you want to make sure you apply the rule, okay, to be sure whether the flat tire is an object by asking what or who. Sentences in the active voice have a strong, direct and clear tone, and it generally preferable to use the active voice. Example, I ran the obstacle course in record time. Mom read the novel in one day. So, what do we get here? That we come to know about the action very clearly done by whom. Okay, passive voice. With passive voice, the subject is acted upon by the verb or action is done to the subject. It is usually less clear than the active voice because there are times we don't come to know about who does the action or who did the action, or we don't know about the subject. That is why the passive voice is used when we want to emphasize the action or the verb and the object of sentence rather than the subject. So when do we use passive voice? When action is more important than who does the action or the subject. This means that the subject is either less important than the action itself, or that we don't know who or what the subject is. So there are two cases when passive voice is used. One is when the subject is not important, and the other is when the subject is not known. Example: the flat tire was changed by Sue. When we look here at this sentence, we come to know that the flat tire is the subject, yes, but it does not do the action of which is changed or of changing. Rather, action is done to the subject. So if we don't care about who has done the action, then too it will be okay. The flat tire was changed. The obstacle course was run by me in record time. Again, the obstacle course, the subject, was run is the verb, but then we see action is done to the subject. The novel was read by my mom in one day. Rules for conversion, that is from active to passive voice. The first rule is to identify the subject, the verb, and the object. Then change the object into subject. That is when we have to change a sentence from active to passive voice. After we identify the subject, verb, and object in the given sentence, we will take the object and we will make that object as subject in the passive voice. Then put the suitable helping verb or auxiliary verb. And when we see or when we add the verb, or that is auxiliary verb, that has to be in accordance with the subject as well as the tense of the sentence. Then change the verb into past participle of the verb form. That is the main verb we have to change or we have to write in the past participle, that is the third form of the verb. And then add the preposition by. Change the subject into object, and then we will take the subject and we will place it in the place of object in the passive voice sentence. Example: active voice. Leonardo da Vinci painted the Mona Lisa. So we see Leonardo da Vinci, the subject, painted is the verb, and the Mona Lisa is the object. So the first step we have done, that we have identified the subject, the verb, and the object. The second step, we will take the object, that is the Mona Lisa, and we will make it the subject. Then we have to add auxiliary. Now auxiliary will be according to the subject, that is a singular subject, and also according to the tense, that is the past tense, so it will be was. And then what we have to do, the main verb we have to write in the past participle form, which is already painted. So the Mona Lisa was painted, and we have to add preposition then, which is by. The Mona Lisa was painted by, and the last step is change the subject into object. So Leonardo da Vinci will become the object. So the final sentence we get is, that is in the passive voice, the Mona Lisa was painted by Leonardo da Vinci. Now the rules for using auxiliary verb for passive voice is different for each tense. Simple present along with the auxiliary, the verb 3, that is of the present tense, am, is or are. Example, she writes a letter. Passive voice, a letter is written by her. So we make sure that the rules are followed, and also we'll check the tenses one after another with the structure present progressive tense. And here again, because it is present tense, auxiliaries of the present, that will be according to the subject, of course, and then we add being and then the verb 3. Example, they are eating oranges. Oranges are being eaten by them. Present perfect tense, has, have, auxiliaries, and then been, and then verb 3. Example, has she completed the work? It is an interrogative sentence, but then it is in present perfect tense. So it will be, has the work been completed by her? Okay, let's see in the uh, other way, that is an assertive sentence. She has completed the work. Okay, so the work has been completed by her. Simple past, was or were, because past tense, so auxiliary and then verb. The main verb will always be in the third form in the passive voice. Example, he did not buy a book. A book was not bought by him. It is a negative sentence. Past progressive, again auxiliary of past, then being, and then verb 3. Example, she was washing a shirt. A shirt was being washed by her. Past perfect, had is the only auxiliary along with been and verb 3. They had won the match. The match had been won by them. Future, simple future, auxiliaries are will or shall, and we already know the rules we have had in the chapter in the topic tenses. Plus be plus verb 3. She will write a poem, so it will be, a poem will be written by her. Future perfect, will or shall along with have and been, and then the verb 3. He will have received the letter, so the passive will be, the letter will have been received by him. Note that passive voice cannot be formed for active voice sentences in the present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future continuous, or future perfect continuous. Now, modal auxiliaries. When a sentence contains any of the modal auxiliaries, it will be the same modal along with be and verb 3, and the rest rule we have to follow the same. Example, you must obey the traffic rules. The traffic rules must be obeyed. And we can write by you, or we don't write. Again, it's not a problem. If the given sentence in the active voice is in the imperative form, that is, the type of sentence is imperative, to get the passive voice or to change to the passive voice, we use the word let. As when we change a sentence from active to passive, be it imperative or interrogative, we have to make sure the form or the type of the sentence remains the same. See the example. The construction will be let plus object plus be plus past participle. Example, help me. So it is an imperative sentence. So how we will start with let. So it will be let me. So let me is the object. Then we have to use or add be and then the verb in the past participle or the third form, which is help. So it becomes helped. Let me be helped. Open the door. Let the door be opened. Maintain silence. Now, how it is going to be different? You are requested to maintain silence. So, this is also one way where we can not start the sentence in the passive voice with let, and we can add the term you are requested. Also, we can write you are ordered, suggested, advised, or asked to. Now, if it is a gerund or infinitive, when used in passive form, gerund, that is ing verb, or infinitive, that is to verb, are formed differently. Infinitive. Passive is formed as to be and then the past participle. Example, I want to shoot the tiger, which is very wrong and not advisable, but then it is an example sentence. So passive will be I want the tiger to be short. So I want will be the same, and then we take the object and make it the subject, the tiger, and then because it is infinitive, so it will be to be and then past participle, which is short, to be short. Now, if it is ing, gerund, okay, being and then past participle. Active, I remember my father taking me to the theater. So, taking is the gerund. Passive, I remember, same, and then we will add being taken to the theater. So, being and past participle, that is taking turns to taken to the theater, and then we add by my father. Helping verbs. If the question in the active voice begins with a helping verb, the passive voice must also begin with a suitable helping verb. We have to take care the type of sentence, okay, that if it is an interrogative in active, the passive too should be interrogative. Example, are you writing a letter? Because if a question starts with any of the auxiliaries, it will be a yes no question. Passive is a letter being written by you. So this is what we have to do. Are you writing a letter is in the active voice, and passive is a letter being written by you. Now we have to follow the same steps, the same rules. That is, we have to see the subject, the verb, and the object, and we have to interchange. We have done the same. Only thing we have to keep in mind that the passive voice sentence as well remains an interrogative sentence. Will you write a letter? Will a letter be written by you? So the first sentence is yes, an interrogative, but then it is the tense of the sentence is continuous, present continuous. So basically what do? We try with the assertive first. You are writing a letter is being written by you, and the only thing we have to do is to add the auxiliary. And why we have added the auxiliary is that is in accordance with the subject a letter, which is singular, that is why. Will you write a letter? You will write a letter. A letter will be written by you. See, and we have just added the auxiliary. Simple. When it is a WH question, if the question begins with WH or a how form, the passive voice must begin with the same, okay, the same WH word. But then only who, this is WH word, a question word, only who gets replaced by whom, that is by whom. Example, why did you break the box? Why? So we will start with why and we will follow the same, okay, the rule, that is subject, object, object, subject, verb, auxiliary and verb in the past participle, that is the third form. Why? And then we will add the auxiliary. Was the box broken by you? Why did you break the box? Why we have added the auxiliary was? Because it is in the past tense. So why did you break the box? Why was the box broken by you? Who broke the window? And here it will start with by whom. By whom was the window broken? Direct and indirect object. We already have learned while learning transitive and intransitive verbs. If a sentence contains two objects, that is indirect and direct, in the active voice, two forms of passive voice can be formed. That is, passive voice can be formed two ways. She brought me a cup of coffee. She is the subject, brought is the verb. A cup of coffee is the direct object, while me is indirect object. So the first way is we'll start with the indirect object, that is, we'll turn the indirect object to subject of the passive I, and the rest of the thing will be the same. Was brought a cup of coffee. We will take the direct object and then we'll write by her. Another way, we'll start with the direct object. A cup of coffee was brought to me and then by her. So both the ways are correct. When made passive, these objects complements become subject complements. The complements or object complements, they come after the verb. Example, they elected him, and the what is that? Their leader. Object complement, he was elected their leader. Now cases where by is not used or used, we can not use as well. Example, with, that is used with in place of by to talk about an instrument used by the subject or agent. Let's check the example. Somebody hit the dog with a stick. Instrument. Okay. Now passive voice will be the dog was hit by with a stick. Or also we can write the dog was hit by a boy if it is not an instrument. But when it is an instrument, it will be by with. Impersonal passive. In scientific, technical, or business writing, the emphasis is usually on the action or the process, and that is why by phrase is omitted. So where the subject is not important, the one who does the action is not important. One finds mosquitoes everywhere. Mosquitoes are found everywhere. Words like with or to are also used in passive voice. You may recall that we use by quite frequently in an active voice to passive voice conversion. But then with or to are also used sometimes. Example, I know her. So what will be appropriate passive? She is known to me rather than She is known by me. Happiness fills my heart. My heart is filled with happiness rather than by happiness. Cases where no passive form exists, and we already know that: present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous, future perfect continuous. Intransitive verb which do not take objects, such as I eat, I am living here, I have traveled by train, I went there, I waited for a long time. Now pronouns, cases. Okay, what we have observed while changing from active to passive, when we replace the subject and the object, we also have to change the form, that is called as the subjective and the objective cases of pronoun. So in the active and the passive form, active if it is I, so passive it will be me, we, us, you will remain you, he, him, she, her, it will remain it, they, them. Now exercise question, students. Let's check all these questions along with the answer, and also the verbs are underlined for you to understand. All the types of sentences, every kind has been included in this exercise question. You have to note down all these questions in your notebook, and while you write the answer, you just have to apply your learning of this active and passive voice, the rules of conversion, and you have to check whether all the answers are valid, correct. Wherever you get stuck or you have any doubt, we will always have this online session where we'll talk about. The active voice is usually more direct and vigorous than the passive. This is what we have learned. When to use active, when to use passive. An error has occurred. I am saying this in the passive voice to avoid taking any personal responsibility. As you already know, when are we supposed to write a sentence in the passive? When we don't want to reveal the subject or who has done the action. Thank you. Active voice. What will be the passive? You are thanked.